Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. This is Kathy. If you can hear my voice and see my screen, please type in yes into the question box. Great. I'm going to let Boris do a sound check and make sure you can hear him clearly as well.
Testing
Say
1,
yes.
2, 3. Just say yes, Boris.
Fabulous.
Okay, good job.
Okay,
Oh,
looks like everything is working well. Did you want to say something, Boris?
No, just seeing my name pop up like 1,000 times. That was wild. Okay. See
Okay.
everybody here. I'm glad everybody is with us today. It's beautiful Thursday payroll day all across the land of ours, and we're very excited to be with you. Today is going to be really unique because we're going to trade both FX and stock index futures. So hopefully you guys get a big kick out of it all.
Actually, we trade FX, stock index futures, all the time now. I mean, that's kind of Boris's forte, and I focus on FX. But so if you're new, it may be for the first time for you. But if you've joined a couple of our sessions, you'll know that we have been trading, and Boris is doing a great job trading the other asset classes. Are we recording this? Yes, we are recording this. So if we go long and you can't stay on for the whole time, or it's 10 o'clock in Brisbane for you, that's fine. Come back later. We'll send you the recording. Pretty just in a few hours. Won't be too long. As long as it takes us to render and get everything squared away, it will be today that we send you the recording. Okay, so I wanted to give a minute for everyone to come in, and I think we've got everyone coming in, so that's great. Let's go ahead and get started and talk a little bit about how we're going to trade non-farm payrolls and what we're thinking and all that fun stuff. Midnight in New Zealand. Yes, you are a trooper, Ken. Okay, before I begin, trading Forex, CFDs, any levered instruments can be quite risky. So please make sure that you are only trading with risk capital and you know what you're doing, or at least you're not exposing yourself to too much. And if you're watching this on demand, please pause the screen and read through this whole thing. Okay, so let's start off by asking the existential question of why is non-farm payrolls important? Why is this such a big release? Why do we watch it so closely? And why does it move markets so much? First and foremost, we are seeing, for the most part, consolidation in the markets going into non-farm payrolls. There is a tinge of optimism. Stock futures are up, Dow futures are up 250 points. Euros up, pounds up, Kiwi's up a lot. So there's definitely a tinge of optimism that we have in the markets going into non-farm payrolls. So why is non-farm payrolls important? Well, jobs are the backbone of the economy. We saw this in a very challenging way over the past few months. When you lose jobs, you lose confidence, you lose spending, you lose economic activity. When the jobs come back, you get a resurgence in demand, in economic activity, in optimism, in pretty much everything. So jobs are the foundation of the economy. And non-farm payrolls is important because that's obviously the U.S. jobs report. And the reason why it's so market moving and the reason why it's the most tradable event usually is because the dollar encompasses 80% of all transactions. And given that it encompasses 80% of all transactions, the non-farm payrolls report, which is a representation of the U.S. job market, is the most important release because it drives equities and it also drives all of the major currencies. So that is why, it is such a market moving report for the markets. This month, it is also going to be or should be market moving for a variety of reasons. First and foremost, last month's report was an unexpected surprise. Every single economist um, uh, forecasted job losses, less than the previous month, but job losses. And, job growth came from left field. We had more than 2 million jobs added in the month of May, and that completely caught everyone by surprise. So we will be looking to see whether that job growth can be sustained. And also, there was a lot of talk back then that the Bureau of Labor Statistics misclassified a number of people that should have been classified as unemployed. And as a result, the unemployment rate should be much higher. I mean, at the time last month, we were saying maybe it was going to be 17, 18, 19%, and it came in at, I believe, 13%. So it could be revised higher. So it's important because last month's numbers may not tell the whole story. And then this month's numbers tell us how much of an ongoing recovery that we had in June. Now, there are a few factors going against us to make this a very lively trading session. The first one is obviously that it's a holiday week in the U.S. So markets are pretty much going to grind to a halt shortly after non-farm payrolls. Not after, but I would say maybe like, by noon, certainly in New York time. Also, we had this huge resurgence in cases in the US. So given that we have a huge resurgence in cases in the US, there is a very, very good chance that the market may end up looking past some of these figures. So if they end up looking past some of these figures, then we could be in trouble. So meaning that, they may not put much credit to good numbers, even though it seems like stock futures are up, currencies are up, and optimism is definitely the mood in the markets right now. So what is expected for this non-farm payrolls report? So these are the forecasts for NFPs. We're basically looking at NFPs going from 2.5 million to 3 million. So the market is looking for more jobs to return in June, which would not be a surprise because we had more reopenings in June. So if anything, given that we had more reopenings in June, more people went back to work. So I think that this is probably an accurate reflection of what's going on in the economy. The unemployment rate is expected to fall. This is where the problem is. The unemployment rate is expected to fall, and there's a very good chance that it may not. There's a very good chance that the unemployment rate could actually end up deteriorating significantly, or at least, coming in higher and then the previous month being revised significantly lower. So unemployment rate could be quite bad. Average hourly earnings are expected to remain negative or continue to fall, although slightly less than the previous month. So all of these are important, but jobless claims are also important because this is for last week. And this may actually not include some of the new kind of pauses these states are doing and basically closing their bars and things like that. So this may not include it. And but if we start to get an uptick in jobless claims, that could also be a problem. So we're going to be looking at all this stuff. The trade balance is not going to is a non-event compared to all this other stuff. It's not going to matter at all. So every month we look at the leading indicators for NFPs to see how things have progressed, to give us a sense of how NFPs could fare. So when we talk about trading, we talk about strategies for trading news. A lot of people don't like to trade news. And the reason why they don't like to trade news is because it can be wildly unpredictable, and it can also be very difficult, cause spreads to widen and cause spikes and then reversals and just be challenging. But if you do it on a methodical basis, it can be much more manageable and more fruitful. in past months when we've live traded, and we can't predict it every single month, sometimes there are glaring, what I call proactive leading indicators that tell us that we should be buying or selling before the event. Non-farm payrolls this month is an exception because first off, our most reliable non-farm payrolls release, non-manufacturing ISM, service sector ISM, won't be released until next week. So we don't have that. ADP reported job growth, which is pretty much consistent with what we have. Challengers reported 300,000 increase in layoffs, which was better than the previous month. That's still a pretty big increase in layoffs. 4-week average of jobless claims and continuing claims are down. So that is consistent with better non-farm payrolls. Consumer confidence, University of Michigan sentiment surveys, and the manufacturing index were better. So all in, pretty much every single one of these leading indicators for non-farm payrolls points to a good number. However, if it was only that easy, because there's a very strong chance of revisions in the past month's release, and that could really sully the report. So with all of this in mind, how are we going to trade non-farm payrolls? First and foremost, I think that a weak number is going to have a more significant impact on the markets than a strong number. And the reason for that is because if it's a strong number, investors probably end up downplaying the report, say, okay, it's strong, but we don't know what's going to be economic impact of the second wave, and the outlook is uncertain. So there's only so much credit that we can give to backwards looking data. It's not as if this is going to be sustained in the beginning of a new trend, because it all is based upon whether new fresh lockdown measures are needed. If we have a good number, there still will be a bit of a jolt of optimism, and we could see a little bit of continuation in the risk-on rally that we're seeing right now, but I don't expect a significant amount of continuation. So how are we trading this? If we take a look at just what's going on right now in terms of the markets, you will see that from a currency basis, first and foremost, I'm going to call out my trades and then type them. I'm going to call out my trades to you verbally, and then I'm going to type the trades for our members in the chat Kathy room so that you can see the exact levels that we're going in. And we're going in 20 stop, 20 target for the first half of the position. So one of the strongest currencies this morning is the New Zealand dollar, but I'm not really, all that interested in trading it because it's kind of overbought. If we get a weak number, I think Euro looks quite good. European outlook doesn't look terrible. I think, and look at the daily charts. I'd be looking to buy euros and buy sterling, and then maybe sell pounds. If we get a strong number, my first inclination will be buy dollar yen, which has been very, very resilient. And then depending upon how the CAD numbers fare, maybe buy dollar CAD. We have CAD trade data coming out. So Boris wants a few minutes to talk about how he's going to trade. So with that, I'm going to set up just the screens. Go ahead, please.
You mind if I grab the screens, Kate, because I want to show them what I'm gonna do.
Ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I'm gonna change presenter to me.
And I'll holler out the numbers because I'm setting up my
Let me see.
Bloomberg.
3. I want to go to 3. This one. Okay. You guys, let's see. Okay. You're seeing, we're going to see Forex Factory. She'll holler out the numbers, but I'll show you the numbers. But before that, what I want to show you is, I think the basic idea from a stock point of view is if the number is really good, Main Street wins. And Main Street is really the Russell. This is the Russell 2000. If the number is bad, I think NASDAQ wins because high technology is actually better. So we actually have a special tool that I'm going to show you where I can trade NASDAQ against Russell, depending on how the number is. If the number is bad, I'm going to be selling the Russell. I'm going to sell Main Street on the stock index future against NASDAQ. So I'm going to go long NASDAQ, short Russell. This is a tool. I'm going to explain to you a little bit later how it works. And it's going to manage my stops, manage my targets, manage everything for me. If the number is good, I'm definitely going to go long Russell because it's positive Main Street. The frustrating part is if it's kind of in between and it's mixed, then we're going to have to just figure out, if there's actually a trade there. But depending on how the surprises go, we're going to try and position ourselves in the right way. We've got about, what do we got?
30 seconds. 1 second.
Okay.
4.8 million. Ooh, really good numbers. All right, buying
Good
dollar yen,
number. Okay.
107.49 for me.
Okay. So I am gonna
107.49.
great numbers. I'm actually gonna go long, long Russell and short Nasdaq, and you can see my spread is working now. And this is the P&L on my spread is going up $8, $9, $10.
Too 79.16 because it looks like a cat. Actually, no, I'm gonna buy
Actually,
euro yen 121.39.
if it goes 20 in the money, if my spread goes 20 in the money, I'm gonna lock in 10. Ugh, I'm having a hard time with this thing. I'm gonna lock in 13. It was moving around. It's very, very wild. I think the market is trying to adjust itself, but generally the good number should be positive Main Street. I'm still sticking with my thesis that Main Street is going to outperform NASDAQ.
Actually, I like CAD yen 79.14. I'm going to switch out of euro yen at 39 and go into CAD yen 79.14 because the CAD trade balance numbers were good.
Okay, so I also want
to show you guys something in a minute.
Okay, so we're still holding on to the idea that Russell should perform a little better than NASDAQ, and I'm long Russell. The spread is just mildly against us. We're going to see if, the idea here is we have a 100 stop, 50 target. If it goes 20 in the money, we're going to try and lock it in. I'm just letting it develop. I'm actually I'm trying now. I need to go see how the numbers are shaping up. Whether everybody's taking profits at this point, and none of this is really working for me. Let me see what's going on over here. Well, I can
run the numbers through you. Non-farm payrolls was 4.8 million versus 3.2 forecast. The revisions was up instead of down, which makes it very, very good. The unemployment rate was not revised lower. Sorry, not revised at all. It came in at 11.1 versus 12.5 forecast.
And basically the claims is high, which is negative. And the earnings are low.
The earnings was the downside. But I still think, given the resilience of dollar yen, that dollar yen should move higher. Sometimes it takes time. Obviously, we could never predict how quick these things move. So in terms of my news trading, there's two techniques that we look at. The first one is the knee jerk. And then the next one, which is, we've got our trades on CAD yen, dollar yen. And then the next ones are going to be, we're going to wait 5 to 15 minutes to see what the setups look like for news trading. And I'll talk to you about, I'll show you the charts when we get to the 5-minute mark, which is only 3 minutes.
All right, my spread is turning positive now. I'm just watching it. I want to see if it goes 20, it's going to lock. My algo is automatically going to lock in profit here. So let's see if we can get it up to 20. It's really all over the place. Wow. I think I'm going to see if I can lock it in at 15. See if we can make it move a little bit. Let's do it. See if we can make it move. So we're 7, 5. Let's see if it moves. Whoops! It should. Oh, I don't have my protect target. No wonder I don't have my. Okay, now it's locked in. I'm like, so okay, boom, boom, boom. Sorry. Okay, so I'm out, and actually the spread is probably going to start working very, very well right now. It's all very fast. It's all, I'm sure, kind of overwhelming for you guys watching it. But I wanted to show you this because this is just one of a lot of different tools that we have in our arsenal, in our BK room that we use, and you can see. The tool does all the work here. The tool basically let me trade NASDAQ against the Russell, let me express my thesis, locked in my profit, and took me out. Well, once the profit hit target. A lot of this stuff I just wanted for you guys to see real live because in the room we obviously stretch it out, we give it more room, we give it more breathing room. But the mechanics of this are amazing, and this is all absolutely free to all of our members. I just wanted to show you this, this tool. Now I'm going to show you a completely different tool. We're going to trade. I like the Russell more, right? So we're going to buy the Russell. I'm going to show you what I'm doing with the Russell. So this is another tool that allows me to basically scalp continuously, and it allows me to lock in my profits and lock in my stops very, very fast. So typically we trade with 3 target, 6 stop, because when you're day trading, you want to have actually negative risk reward ratio because you're going to go for high accuracy trades. This is a chase trade. This is not the type of trade that I usually do. But again, I just want to demo you the trade and show you how quickly I can adjust my my targets, my stops. let my trade happen. I'm still, we cleared a key level here at 1450 on the Russell. We're basically long this thing on the idea that this should be positive sentiment for the market. This is NASDAQ, and now I want to show you a couple of other things that we do, and I'm going to go full screen. The other great thing that we have, go ahead.
Sorry, I wanted to show something at the 5-minute mark.
Do you want to grab the screen?
Yeah, just for a minute.
I'm actually going to go long NASDAQ right now to show you, because I have a good long strong signal here with about a 30 stop 20 target. We'll see if we can hit about 1380 on my stop. So go ahead, Kay, you can take the screen and I'll manage the.
I'm going to make myself show my screen. Okay, so what I wanted to show you is, let me just go full screen on this. Is I want to show you the 5-minute candle. The first thing that we look at, we see the spike here. So we've got our 5-minute candle, which is the news candle. And so what we're going to do is we're going to watch these highs and lows in dollar yen, and also watch these highs and lows on this candle, news candle, in the euro dollar. If we make a new highs in either one of these pairs, there could be an opportunity to go for a continuation trade there. Right now the best setup that is working is CAD yen. And for those of you that are members, you can see CAD yen is on the process of wanting to set up a zip buy signal. So this is one of the reasons why I really like it. I also really like it because dollar CAD was doing a double zip sell signal, these white candles here. So that is the reason why, we were looking at the CAD trade. But right now, what I want to say is that we're going to watch the euro dollar. I know we're going to watch, sorry, this is the euro dollar 5-minute chart. 5-minute candle, the levels that we're watching for is basically 96 on the upside and 80 on the downside. If we break any of these levels, 112.96, 112.80, we may try to see if we can press it a little bit in the opposite direction, in that same direction. Go ahead, Boris, you can take it back now as we kind of wait and see what's.
Yeah. All right.
Not a big move.
Okay, let's see if we can get that show my screen.
But we're showing you the tactics of what we're looking at, because we can never predict how much of a reaction the market will have, because these were clearly very good numbers. But as I said earlier, there are a lot of question marks, in terms of the sustainability. We didn't have those revisions, but the jobless claims number were worse. The average hourly earnings were worse. So I would say it's good, but not great.
Yeah. So just to show you visually what we have going on, I have a couple of long trades, just basically because I'm going with the flow right now. These are not the kind of signal trades we usually do, but it's positive data. We're just trying to see if we can, if they'll extract a little more upside. I think there is a little more upside here on the stock indices. So I'm long. This is S&P 500. Then I'm long this. Then I think I also got long NASDAQ a little bit. Where's my NASDAQ? Yeah, I'm long NASDAQ, and both of them are a little bit underwater right now because we're seeing some profit taking. I basically I'm going to let these things float on the assumption that we're going to get a second push a little bit higher. But what you can see on this chart, maybe I'll show you a chart like the Dow, or you can see this on the Russell, for example. What's much more interesting from the chart point of view, and by the way, I should have been just really long Russell, because that's a really great, that was my main street thesis is the right one. As a matter of fact, let's just get long this thing. Buy. Okay.
All right, so we're breaking this 112.96 high in euro dollar, so I think it's going to go higher. So so take a punt around 112.96. Let's see if we get a little bit of move to the upside.
All right, these are all big chase trades. The reason the biggest problem with these trades is that they could be very overextended, and we'd be clipped on profit taking. But that's okay. I'd rather trade with the strength right now, which is that the market likes these numbers. But what's interesting and what I really want to show you is we actually have proprietary indicators on our TradingView charts that allow us to anticipate a lot of this forward price action. So as you can see here, there's color coding going on in the chart here. And the orange candles are buy signals for us. Now, there's a whole bunch of rules. Well, so Russell is working. I'm gonna close the Russell. I'm just gonna close the Russell. That's nice. Okay, so we made money on the Russell because I was correct. Let me see how the Nasdaq is doing. Am I finally in the money now? I'm not in the money on the Nasdaq. I'm barely in the money. Let's kill the S&P. Nasdaq was probably a loser trade. But because Nasdaq was actually, I don't know why I went long Nasdaq, because it could just force of habit. Because I'm gonna just kill this because that's a loser trade. Nasdaq is the weakest one of all. The great story was the Main Street story, as I was telling you. That was the big story, and that's why I was working. But more importantly, stepping away from the NFPs, which are obviously wild and woolly, how can you anticipate strength in the market without just trading, the news right then and there? We have a very, very clean, interesting proprietary indicator that we run. Now, the beautiful thing about it, you notice our charts is they're super clean. There is nothing on this chart except a couple of key candles. And as long as you know how to read them, and as long as you know how to trade this chart, it's super easy to take buy and sell signals. So for example, now obviously this is non-farm payrolls. So this is, it's a hypothetical example. You would never trade in front of a big event risk. But even if you did, you could see the market was anticipating a positive burst. This gave you a very, very strong buy signal ahead of the non-farm payrolls. And it was a great buy signal, and it worked very, very well. It gave you a couple of other buy signals all throughout the Asia session because the market was generally looking positive. All these entries would have worked really, really well. Even the corrective entry, this is a corrective entry where the market was taking a little bit of profits, actually worked for us. And overnight, some of the people in my room took the corrective entry and made money on that. You can see the same story on NASDAQ. Where's the NASDAQ? Oh, sorry, this is the Dow. Here's NASDAQ. You can see the same story on NASDAQ. The market was signaling buy all throughout Asia, Europe, and early North America. And we had, as a matter of fact, we actually had this trade. Let me show you. We did this trade in our chat room right here.
All right, so it looks like from my end, our CAD yen, dollar yen trades are working now. We're gonna bail out this euro dollar and try again if we break new highs or lows, and on the 15-minute candle at 85.
Okay. Are you posting?
The original trades are still hanging tight.
Okay. Are you posting in chat? Ask Kathy, because I want to show them.
I am.
Okay, so I'm going to show them your room and I'm going to show them your trades so they can see. Just bear with me. I'm sorry, guys. It just takes a second for it because I'm doing this through Chrome browser, so it's taking a lot. So these are all the trades Kay has going on. So you guys can see them for those of you who are on the FX side. She's long yen, euro yen, CAD yen. So she's long. Just
dollar yen and CAD yen.
Sorry, long dollar yen. I'm sorry. I'm Russian. So euro yen is close. So just CAD yen and dollar yen. Both of those, I guess, are working. We can take a look at those in just 1 second. Here's dollar yen. Let's take a look at dollar yen just actually for a second. Yeah. So that's look. By the way, look. Not that my indicator is designed for FX on this time frame, but it's actually signaling a buy point on dollar yen as well. So my indicator is confirming on FX what we usually trade on currency on stock index futures. But what I wanted to show you is, remember I was saying to you we were buying Nasdaq early. I just want to show you exactly how it was happening. We're Connie and I were talking about this in the room, and I was saying, C is a buy on the Nasdaq, right? We're going to go in. I went in. I closed it for 9. She closed it for 8. That's 9 Nasdaq points or 8 Nasdaq points, which is a very, very nice little haul for a day trading structure. If you take a look at all of the signals over the last 24 hours in the 4 main stock indices, I just went back for the last 24 hours, just trading our system blindly. That is, taking every single signal without any judgment whatsoever. We actually were 6 winners, 1 loser in Russell, 5 winners, 1 loser in the S&P, 5 winners, 1 loser in Nasdaq, 3 winners, 2 losers in Dow. Dow was the weakest of all of them. And then we have a very special rule, which I will share with you, of course, later. We usually don't trade short. The market is bullish bias on a long-term basis, so we don't really trade short trend trades. So if you eliminated those, if you just basically followed our rules as we traded them in the room, it was actually 16 winners, 2 losers over the last 24 hours, just the last 24 hours alone. It was an 88% signal. Now that is not every single day. Of course, I don't want to deceive you into thinking that every single day is that good, but it is in that level. We try to go for the between 70 to 80% hit rate on all of our stock trades, which is on day trades, which is why these particular indicators are so useful and so helpful, because
you
they
can also
truly,
show mine in the chat Kathy room. Sorry, not chat Kathy. The zero
Right.
trade signal. I did the summary of my trades
Correct.
this week.
Sorry, you're right. So Kay and I live in separate worlds. So literally, I'm so stock obsessed that I focus on stocks. I totally forget how well she does on FX. This is Kathy. Now Kathy has a whole different system, which I'm actually, I could show you real quickly if you guys want to. She has a whole different system, another visual system, because we really believe in visual, simplified visual trading. That's what creates the great opportunities for us, makes clean, simple, completely unambiguous, completely direct, straight trades for us. And as you can see, this is Kathy's results. This is Kathy's results for the last 7 months, actually. You see how precise she is in her production. There's really 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16,
All right,
17.
so for Cadian, we're up 10 pips. I'm gonna bank half and then move and just keep half on.
All right.
Move your
I think it was like 32 weeks, and 28 of those 32 weeks. I miscounted, but it was close enough. Something like 28 out of 32 weeks she's positive, which is ridiculously accurate. You just there's very few people in the world that can have that kind of precision. And it's a result of the fact of our hard work on creating these great visual indicators that help us simplify our trading. This is the trading sheet.
This is the monthly results since August.
Right.
Even longer.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. What is this? Oh, this is the monthly results. Oh, okay. You posted those. Yeah, and you can see you can. And the thing is, you gotta appreciate. You guys may be going, oh, you made 10 points, you made 10 points, you made 16 points. This is how you make money in the long run. Both Kay and I understand that markets don't give you 1,000-point trades. Okay, it doesn't work that way. They give you a little bit. You take that, you add it, you take that, you add it, take it, you add it, and that is how you create really, really long-term profitable records. That's how you double your account one day at a time. Just like everything else in life, you live one day at a time. The markets are the same way. So we have that approach, and it's been really, very, very successful because it's true to the market. It works with how the market actually works, not with how people want to make you believe the market works. So you can see her results have been awesome. It's astounding that through COVID, through protests, through volatility, through sell-off, through the Fed endless QE, there has not been a negative month on FX it's really since August of 2019. Just amazing. Just literally, we're coming up on a year.
Because you can see this week we made 153 points. The last 2 weeks we made 37.44, and beneath the hood there are losses. But having, my goal is 100 pips a week target, and having that target keeps us focused. And you can see, these are, blood, sweat, and tears trades in order to get to the profits. They're not, one hit wonders. So it hasn't been easy, but we have a methodical system that we follow, and when it's good, it's good.
No, absolutely. That's exactly what we do. And I have this sort of same approach where I try to hit. I mean, Kay tries to hit 100. The points in stock index futures are a little different, so it's mixing apples and oranges. But you can see that. I just want to scroll back. Where's my results? I basically go for 40 to 50 points a day. That's my goal. So like this was Tuesday, this was Monday, right? We're trading Dow. Mainly I trade Dow and Nasdaq, but now I'm gonna trade much more Russell and stuff like that. Even yesterday was a tough day for me, and I still managed to eke out a little bit of profits on my P&L. You can see this was my P&L yesterday. So that's how it works. We do it one day at a time. Very, very strong hardcore numbers. Let's take a look, by the way, see how the indices are working. Our upside bias was correct. I mean, all the long trades in stock index futures was the right side. Even the miserable Nasdaq, which was it was just a force of habit, would have this was the only tiny little loss that I took today. That would have actually made money for me. But the spread made money for me. The Russell made money for me. The S&P made money for me. All of those are working trades. Now, as far as what we do in the room, we let the stuff digest. Now all the news is baked into the market. Now the market is going to just hem and haw a little bit before we have the stock index open at 9:30. And we're only going to trade when we have confirmation, visual confirmation that we have a setup. So you can see, like, I'm just sort of to give you an idea of what is visual confirmation. When we get these kind of candles, you can see the candles are very, very clean and clear that tell you, oh, this is a buy opportunity. This is what we call a continuity buy, because it's a buy within an uptrend. An uptrend is painted green, right? And then we also have, I think let me show you in the Russell. This is what's called a reversal sell, because you're actually going against trend. And those trades are very, very hard to time. So you have to have a great indicator. And you can see this reversal sell. Typically we trade with a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio, which is a negative risk reward ratio. But do not be fooled. When you're hitting 70 to 80%, you are more than positive every single day, as you can see. I'll show you how well you've already seen how well Kathy did. I'll show you what I did last month in just trading these kind of setups in my MT5 account. But the point being is, you have to give yourself more room on the stocks because the markets go back and forth. So in the Russell, for example, we trade with a 3 target 6 stop. In this particular case, if we're short 37s, we would be buying at 34s, and it went all the way down to 33s. So it would have made target here before the prices turn themselves around. And then, if you had the balls to get long here, you certainly paid off very, very well. I mean, generally, I don't trade in front of an event, but you can see how well it's doing it. You can even see this yesterday in the Russell, how after a big sell-off in a negative day, it gave us a reversal buy signal. And this reversal buy signal was huge, was massive. So there are guys in my room, I'm basically a guy who's like a Woody Woodpecker who just pecks away, takes a few pips at a time, a few points at a time. But there are guys in my room who buy this and hold it for 40, 50 points just because they have much better patience than I do. The critical thing is you need a tool that gives you direction correctly, right? John Maynard Keynes, who was the greatest economist of all time, but also the greatest trader of all time, who made 30% compounded for 20 years straight, literally the best trading record ever in history. Go look it up. In real money, with real trading during the Depression, his view was, I would rather be generally right than precisely wrong. And the beautiful thing about all of our trading indicators is exactly that. They get us on the right side of the move, and then from there on, it's up to you. You can manage this for lots of pips or small amount of pips, depending on your style and your personality. But getting direction right is 99% of winning in any financial markets, but certainly in the stock market. So direction up, gold is always up, purple is always down, and you can see how well this tells you. And it remember, this colors it for you in real time. So you see this in real time forming. You can make an informed decision and trade well with it. Yeah, I've showed you, how well we've done. Have you, let me see, Kay, have you updated your trades, anything? Should I come back to you?
Well, they're moving in our favor. We're still in profit. Dollar yen, we went long dollar yen at 107.49, and we're marginally in the money. We went long CAD yen, we banked 10 pips. We're still, floating the trade, and it could just be a slow mover. Sometimes with NFPs, you got to wait a little bit longer, but at least we're in the profit.
So exactly. And that's, by the way, that's also like a huge difference in personality and asset class. As you can see, my attention span is of a gnat. Like my trades take 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes max. If I'm in a trade for half an hour, I'm ready to blow my brains out because that's too much time. That's stocks. If you want fast money, there is no faster asset in the world than stock index futures. They move fast. If you want much more slower, leisurely pace, that's FX. I've already like banked 5 trades, closed them out, and ready for everything else. And Kay is still floating hers. That's kind of like the way it works every day with us. So it gives everybody who trades an opportunity to trade different ways. If you have a fast, if you're a fast scalper personality, you hang out with me. If you have even a smattering of patience, you hang out with Kay. Regardless, they both work very, very well. I wonder if I can, let me see if I can.
Sometimes my trades are fast. It really depends. We basically ride the momentum of the markets. So if we get momentum, we'll take more. And our trades will be fast. And one of my secrets to trading is that I trade at what I consider the best time of the day, which is much earlier in the morning. And so that's when our profits tend to be hit much quicker. And so, today, right now, typically non-farm payrolls is very market moving. But, as I mentioned earlier, we didn't know because it is a holiday weekend. And people are kind of moving on, and they're also thinking, this is a good number, but we're not sure whether or not it matters because it all depends on what happens next.
Right. I'm trying to see if I can. I can't seem to. I wonder. You know what? I'm just going to do it this way. Hang on a second. I'm going to kill this. So let's just take a look at dollar yen, and 1 hour chart. I'm going to kill the. Kill this indicator and see. I just want to show people your zip trader indicator so that they can see like.
Well, you can show it on CAD yen and dollar CAD, and you can see with your dollar. We talked about looking at the 15-minute low, which was basically at 81, and we've broken through it. So if you sold, you can sell even it's close enough to 81.77 a minute ago, and see if we can get 20 pips on it. I'm not going to take that trade because we've got our other trades, but those look good. Also, if you show dollar CAD, that double zipped for us.
Right, I'm showing dollar CAD right now. I don't know if you guys can see it well. Maybe I'll go full screen.
Yeah, you have to zoom into the chart. Zoom in a lot more. Yeah, okay. There you go.
Okay, and you can see. So again, there's a lot of complexity behind this stuff, but we keep all the complexity out. When you're trading, you want a clean vision because you need to make decisions fast. And if you have lots and lots of indicators and they're pointing 100 different ways, it doesn't help you. It's clutter. It's clutter for your brain, clutter for your chart. So one of the key things that Kay and I did is we hid all of the complexity inside these beautifully clean visual indicators. And what you can see here with Kathy's zip trader, when the candle is white and it breaks the indicator line, that's a sell signal. When you have double sell, which is double zip, where it comes in once and then tests the indicator line and then comes back down, it's a very, very strong sell signal. And if you combine that with a fundamental overlay like Kathy does by understanding what was the driver in CAD today, I haven't been paying any attention.
The stronger CAD trade balance.
Right, it's a stronger trade CAD balance, Canadian economy kind of surviving this a little bit better. All of that is it's positive risk, positive Canada. You can see how that's setting up the trades. You can also see Kathy's trade dollar yen right here working. She's in at 49. It's starting to rally, starting to work.
Yeah, actually we're up 10 pips now. It's taking its time, but if you want to bank this 10 pips because we're not really seeing much movement, right. You can bank half. Here, move your stock to break even.
Right. An hour in FX is a minute in stock index futures. No, I'm just kidding you. Well, here's CAD yen also, by the way. You see how strongly this is indicating the signal. I think is it 24 seconds left of the candle. That means the candle is going to close here. That's a powerful, powerful, strong signal. Very likely it could extend more. One of the other things that you may be interested in, just kind of to get a bird's eye view of our trading structure. Kathy will, when she feels confident in a trade, will trade with 2 units. So she'll take a small target on the first unit and sometimes, and then let the second half ride. And sometimes those second halves, the runner trades, can be hugely profitable. That's where she makes like the bulk of her really big profits. And if you like that kind of trading, that's definitely, I definitely advise you to check her out, because that's really, that's really how it really adds up. I am much more of like single entry, single exit kind of a guy, but I have tools. We have tools that can turn my trades into massive winners. So hope you guys kind of enjoyed all of this. We banked a lot of pips for you. Now I want to kind of
we're still floating profitable positions.
Yeah, we're still floating profitable positions. Kay will update you on all of this, but we wanted to just take a minute to share with you an idea that we had. It was actually my idea, kind of like it was all just came to me 1 second. Yeah, I'm gonna go full screen. I'm just letting this. Sorry, Kay. I'm just letting the. Just give me a second here.
For our zippies out there, you can see the dollar CAD zip trade is working out very nicely. The euro dollar, when I told you to sell the bottom of that candle, the news candle 112.80, it's now 15 pips moving. When we saw the news candle, this is one of the techniques that we use to trade, that can be used to trade news. So that's one strategy that we'll talk more about in our day trading camp.
Right.
But dollar CAD also for you zippies. I don't trade today because I think markets are going to grind to halt, but we do have a very clean zip trade in dollar CAD.
So summer camp, right? Everybody loves summer camp. We were all stuck at home essentially for the whole summer. Nobody's going to take any vacations to Paris this year. And I was sitting around with Kay one day and I said, Kay, everybody's hanging out. We're all hanging out. We're doing all this great work in our chat room with everybody trading. We've developed these incredibly robust, powerful day trading strategies. Wouldn't it be cool if we did a Zoom day trading summer camp for adults? Because both Kay and I have young kids, and we were talking about camp one day with the kids, how we're going to do camp with kids and stuff like that. And that was really the idea. And I hope you guys will really like this idea, because I can't think of a better way to kind of hang out in the month of July than to figure out how to trade the markets properly with all the great tools that we're going to make available to you. All of the execution tools, all the visual chart tools, and of course, all the strategies. So we decided, let's put together a Zoom day trading summer camp. One time only. We're never going to do this again, because COVID will be over one day. We're all going to go back to real life, and we're not going to be locked down at home all the time. So this is the one-time opportunity where we're going to take 4 weeks during the heart of the summer, and we're going to take real markets, real trades, exactly like we did right now. Real prices, real markets, real trades. No BS. We're going to trade real live with you, starting Bastille Day, for those of you who are French, July 14th, 2020, and we will cover all the major asset classes. We're going to trade Forex, we're going to trade futures, we're going to trade CFDs for those of you outside of the US. And by the way, I traded futures for you guys because obviously, I'm US and that's what I can trade, but we will trade CFDs. We also have CFD trades, which are virtually the same as futures trades, that can be used with every one of the tools that I showed you. So 8 live trading sessions, 5 day trading strategies. I'm going to see if I can, well, after I stop talking, when I let Kay talk, I'm going to copy this link to everybody so you guys can hit the link and sign up early. But basically, we're going to have 8 intensive training sessions. Lesson 1 will be to learn high accuracy day trading strategies in FX and futures. Lesson 2, we're going to use our strategies to trade ECB rate decision live. One of Kathy's great skills is the ability to incorporate fundamentals into trading. And she will share with you a lot of her ideas of how it is that she decides what's interesting, what's valuable, what's actionable, how to take news and make it turn into actionable trades. And then we'll do the same kind of idea on the Canadian retail sales. on lesson 3. Then I'm going to take over and I'm going to show you, because I basically trade London Open to New York close every day, how we trade the London Open. We love the London Open and stock index futures, and I will also add some FX trades in the London Open. And then, of course, the big daddy of them all, the New York Equity Market Open, when everything goes haywire, and I'll show you exactly what we do in all those strategies as well, right? And then we're going to come back and trade non-farm payrolls, but this time in of course, in August for the July numbers. And that'll be interesting because I think there'll be a lot of things going on at that point. Are they going to extend unemployment benefits? How much of the PPP is going to be? Where is COVID? Is COVID going to be at 100,000 cases per day? There's going to be so many interesting permutations to how we're going to trade this. This is going to be fascinating. Then we'll go into Asia. Asia actually is like one of the greatest sessions. We don't have like an official trading strategy for Asia stock index futures, but it has actually been more powerful than what we call the light of the day is London to New York. That's when almost everybody in the world is at their screens, and that's when liquidity is highest, and that's when you have all those trading opportunities. But actually, the quiet times, our strategies really work very well in Asia, and I'll show them to you. But we're also going to trade, obviously, the employment report. And one of Kathy's great skills is she can anticipate how the numbers will print. Kathy will take you through her methodology of how it is she decides if the market is correct or incorrect in their forecast of the number. Because if you can figure out if the number is going to surprise to the upside or surprise to the downside, you can profit ahead of the report. And she'll take you step by step through that particular strategy for those of you who are interested in trading FX and show you exactly how that's done on the Australian employment report. And then, of course, I will take you through all of the MT4, MT5 tools that we will give you and we will show you to trade all of these things. Because in addition to the ability to read the market, to read the charts, you need the ability to place those trades quickly and have the robot do all the hard work, all the dirty work that is actually where a lot of the errors make place. I guarantee you, if I asked you how many of you lost more money on a mistake trade, that is a trade where you meant to do one thing and you did the other thing, or you forgot to do one thing and you did the other thing, it'd probably be the answer is 100%. That most of your money is lost not even on bad analysis, but on bad execution. So we created these incredibly easy to use point and click tools that make execution super easy for you without any errors. So that's what's going to be the agenda for this Zoom camp. And then I'll let Kate talk to you a little bit about some of the
Right. I mean, the bottom line is that the kids can't have all of the fun, right? In fact, for those of you that are holding dollar yen, we're at 107.72 right now.
Whoa,
so let's
look at that.
Of our profits here at 107.72. So let me see. Let me just type this in. Close rest at 107.72. So patience really makes a difference because we made about 35 pips, I think, in dollar yen. And then we can also, if you want, just close out, CAD yen here for another 12 pips, and call it a winning day. I mean, this is how money is made, because it's not about the glamorous, let's shoot up higher to the moon trades and we get really excited. Sometimes we really do get that, but on quiet days, we have to respect the price action, and we have to take what the market gives us because we know that there's not momentum. And for those of you that sold euro on that 15-minute news range break at 112.80, we're at 55 now. That's 25 pips. So that's another really great opportunity. So, and also what I want to show you is at the onset, we tested a couple of different things: dollar yen, euro yen. We even went long euro dollar at the initial news candle. Didn't work out, which will happen sometimes. I have some probative trades until we settle into the right ones, and that's what we got eventually with the dollar yen long, the CAD yen long, and the euro dollar short that came in later. So anyway, as I said, the kids can't have all the fun this summer. Boris and I thought that'd be fun to have for the grown-ups to have some fun too. And based on the schedule that Boris laid out. What you will be learning is 5 high accuracy day trading strategies that cover Forex as well as stock index futures along with individual stocks. You'll learn to trade equity indices at the New York, London, and Asia Open, and basically identify what the opportunities are at all those points of the day. So depending upon what part of the world you live in, there are good trading opportunities, and we'll show you exactly how to capitalize on them. We'll teach you the art of trading major news events like non-farm payrolls. We made some money today, and we showed you a little bit of that in quiet times. I think next month when we have the next few events like ECB and the next NFPs should be much more lively since they don't happen over holiday weeks. You'll learn to trade the Dow and NASDAQ continuation and reversal moves. Stock spreads like Walmart versus Apple, Russell versus the Dow, Tesla versus something else, how we can basically analyze those opportunities to identify good trade setups and ride the best emerging Forex trends of the day. You saw those results that Boris highlighted for my trading. Most of them are done during the ideal time of the day when we get most of the emerging Forex trends. And that's what we really will be doing with you every single day. So go ahead, Boris.
Sorry. I just got to get the control here. So, I showed you, gave you like a flavor of how my visual indicators work. But this is NASDAQ, right? And just sort of to brief you a little bit, how do I trade the 4 major indices? NASDAQ, I trade with a 10 target 20 stop. Dow, I trade with a 25 target 50 stop. S&P, I trade with a 5 target 10 stop. And Russell, I trade with a 3-6, so 3 target 6 stop. In NASDAQ, which is my bread and butter trade, taking the signals as they go, and as you can see here, I'm only actually taking signals during what we call the light hours. That is when the markets, all high liquidity times, from 4 in the morning US, 4 a.m. New York, until 1600 hours New York. So London open to New York close, that's when most of the world is trading. I'm only taking signals over here. But as you can see on this chart, the gray area is Asia. And even in Asia, as a matter of fact, one of the things that we're starting to realize is how much money we leave on the table in Asia because there's so many great trading opportunities. And there are people in my room who are on the west coast of the US or who are in Asia who are just minting it because the signals in Asia are just as good as they are in the rest of the world. But here you can see the basic flow is 4 out of 5, 5 out of 6. Sometimes on a bad day, it may be 3 out of 2. But overall, like in the month of June, this signaling just during the active trading times, not even counting the Asia times, 66 out of 77 winners in June, 440 NASDAQ points. Just to give you an idea what that means. If you're trading for $1 a point, you only need like $1,000 on a CFD account. So you made $440 for $1,000 down. If you're trading the E-micro NASDAQ contract, the margin, the intraday margin for it is only $50, but you really need like $1,000. They want you to have about $800 for overnight margin. So let's just call it $1,000. Let's just call it $1,000 for one NASDAQ contract. This one NASDAQ contract is worth $2 a point. So that's $880 for every $1,000 at risk in the market in the month of June. That's how well this strategy did. If you were trading indices. Now this is my own trades that we did across NASDAQ, Dow, a little bit of Russell in that month, and you can see what I'm talking about. We take a $1,000 starting balance around with just a $50 a day margin, $500 overnight margin in futures, because as a U.S. citizen I can't trade CFDs, but the exact same structure can be replicated in CFDs. This is real results, real markets, all of the numbers that we did in the month, basically from the end of May to the end of June, when we're trading all of this in the room. So the indicators are awesome. And as you can see, this is Kathy's trades. And I'll let her talk a little bit about her results and finish up.
Yeah, I mean, basically, we covered these already, and these are real results. This doesn't include this past week on our 153 pips that we made, but this is what we're going to show you how to do, and this is what we're going to be doing at our Zoom day trading camp. You're going to learn all of our day trading strategies, and we're going to have fun and make some money in the process. So if you want to participate, the details are in the next screenshot screen that Boris will show you. It's one time only that we'll ever hold this event. 4 weeks live, real markets, real trades, just like we did today. Starting Tuesday, July 14th, you'll uncover, profits in Forex, futures, and CFDs. We'll trade the biggest events of the summer. You'll learn 5-day trading strategies. One thing I didn't even include here is we're going to throw in an MT4, MT5 EA that helps to make some of the trading more seamless.
Exactly. We kind of left the best for last. I kind of just want to explain to you guys what we're going to include here, because what I'm working on, you remember I showed you how, like, all of those trades in NASDAQ, how we did 440 points in NASDAQ, all that visual trading. Well, working with the programmer very, very hard over the last couple of weeks, we're going to be able to essentially replicate that on a fully automated basis, if you like it. So this, by the way, this is going to mean if you're trading CFDs or if you're trading stock index futures in the US, full automation in both asset classes that will allow you to enter and exit those trades on a fully automated basis. Because obviously, you can't be up 24 hours a day. You can't take advantage of all those trades. And it's going to make it a lot easier. And we're going to have that both in MT4 and MT5 format as part of this summer camp. That's my final best offer, best gift to you guys, because I think we finally automated this in the most robust manner possible. So what brokers is going to work with, if you're trading MT4, if you're a non-US citizen, or if you're trading MT5 and you're a non-US citizen, this will work with any broker that you have an account with. Any broker that has a CFD, this will work with. If you're a US citizen, there is one broker that we all use called AMP Futures, and it will work there. So yes, and Himanshu is asking me, do lifetime members get access to summer camp? Of course, lifetime members get everything. You are my VIPs. Of course you get access to summer camp. And I want everybody who's listening to me who's not a lifetime member to become one, because if you become one, we will let you have the summer camp completely free. So if you want to become lifetime members and you're listening to us, I would love for you to do that. But for the rest of you who just want to do this one course with us, you want to do summer camp, this is going to be a great opportunity. Is there anything else that I forgot, Kay, that I need to talk about? I sent everybody, please confirm to me you guys have the link. I sent everybody the link inside the question box. Somebody in the question box tell me that you have the link and you're able to click it. Let me just make sure that you guys are able to connect to it.
So we'll send this recording to you, and if you have any questions about any of this, feel free to email us. And it's going to be, let's make this a fun summer, and and hopefully bring some positivity out of it amidst all the craziness in this world. So hopefully you'll join us, and we look forward to having you.
Yeah, Kate, the gentleman is asking, he says we never mentioned price.
You'll get the information via email. You click that link, and all the information is there. And I didn't mention, for those of you that had the patience to attend today's webinar, we are giving you our best price ever. It's only valid for 24 hours, and then it's going to disappear. But it's a really good deal. So I encourage you to click on that link.
Like a ridiculously good deal. It's such a good deal that it's painful for me to even offer it to you. But it's literally if you want the opportunity to kind of learn how to learn how to trade for a lifetime, there's no better time than the Zoom Summer Trading Camp of 2020. We hope to see everybody who's in this webinar. I want to see everybody there with us, because we're going to have a blast. I can't tell you how much fun we're already having in the room at the beginning of the summer. The core of the summer is going to be the best opportunity for us to make money for you guys. So hopefully we'll see you there. We'll send you all the information. All the links will follow up in the emails if you guys don't have it. But this is the link if you need. I've sent it to you right now if you want to sign up right now please take advantage. Everybody have a wonderful day. I think I don't even know how many pips we've banked out. Kay, you probably have a tally on your side, but we'll.
I mean, I'll tally it later on, but
Yeah, well,
like 40, 50 pips on my end.
Right, and I made at least like 20 on the spreads, another 10. I made probably 30, 35 points on my end. And there's more to go.
Which is a lot for no movement.
Right, for no movement, and there's more to go, for the rest of the day. So we're going to be trading in the BK room. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys in the Zoom summer camp, because this will be awesome. All right, everybody have a wonderful day, and enjoy your holiday weekend if you're in America. Take care.